Drew Alba here with manager of the Walla Walla Suites, Colby Watilo, for another edition of Countdown with Colby. I'm excited for this one. I got a lot of questions to ask you.
Wow,
First off, you fishing. How'd it go?
It went all right. It was.
Did you get up and get out there?
I got out there. Yeah, I was on the river by 6:30 this morning. So that was good. Had a lot of fun. It was not as much catching as I'd heard, but I also know that the area that I'm in is heavily trafficked and not the maybe not the area of choice of the locals. So
Lots of tubing and stuff.
a lot of I didn't run into it, but it's kind of the rest of the day they get tubed over, and so he was kind of like, that's not the primary fishing area, but hey, it's walking distance from the hotel, so tough to beat that.
Nice. You gotta get a little with nature, huh? Did you catch any fish?
I did not have any in the net, but I did hook into one or two. So
Hook one or just couldn't keep them on.
Couldn't keep them on.
Man.
Yep.
Well, the Elks had the Sweets on the ropes yesterday, down 7-0 after just 3 innings. And then you kind of slowly saw you guys fight back. It reminded me of the game against the Pippins a week back where you saw the Sweets go down 6-0, just couldn't get over the hump. What was your assessment in the ball game?
Yeah, I think dug ourselves a hole that was pretty tough to try to overcome.
Yeah.
And then we fought really hard to try to get back, and I was really proud of the guys there. When you're down 7-0, when you're down 7+ runs, I should say, it's really difficult to keep your focus and try to claw back in. But I thought the guys did an excellent job, and we put the pressure on them in the middle to late innings, and we were one swing away. Had the tying run at the plate, and just couldn't quite cap off the comeback. But that's how it goes.
Down 7-0 early on, Sweets immediately capitalized. You get close, the big grand slam in the first inning. You want to walk me through that one?
Teddy Tokheim, he put a good swing on that ball. Fastball away. I think wind was kind of blowing out to right a little bit, and he got a barrel on the baseball, put a good swing on it, and just elevated the ball on the opposite side of the field, and the ball carried. So really did swing. Obviously, a couple free passes that put some of those guys on base, which makes it hurt a little bit more, but no, I mean, you can't. That's a young player with I've watched a lot on the recruiting trail. He's a Seattle guy, and so I've seen him play a lot. And he's a great young player, and he put a good swing on a baseball.
Speaking of a homer, Dom Cadiz goes to left field, but Gunnar Guile crushes the ball maybe farther than I've seen this entire season. It goes well out onto the street. What type of pop does that guy have, and how huge is he in the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has a ton of juice. We've seen it already here. He hasn't been with us for a super long time, but we've seen it already a couple times of him running the ball out on the pull side, and a lot of juice in the bat. Just a twitchy athlete with a lot of strength. I think people. You see his run tool and you think, hey, this is a contact guy that's going to run the bases, and he does that too. But he's definitely shown he has the ability to drive the baseball out of the yard.
Jennings on the hill tonight from Colorado Mesa University, pitcher yesterday for the Elks, also from Colorado Mesa. Roommates. Wow, that's another tidbit for you. What do you expect out of him?
Jennings is going to go compete. He's going to get the guys behind him. He's a fiery competitor. Gets the guys going, and so I'm excited for him to go out and give us his best effort. I think he sets the tone in a good way from a competitive standpoint for us. So, hopefully he's able to put some zeros up early in the game and kind of set the tone for what we're going to try to do the rest of the night.
Yesterday's ball game, Hollum, obviously not a great start. You still let him out there. Is the leash kind of that same length tonight for Jennings? Yeah,
I mean, we'll see. We've got a lot of guys, a lot of horses in the stable as far as the bullpen goes, and so we've got a lot of guys we can turn to when needed, but trying to take it one pitch at a time, one at bat at a time for those guys, and even with he didn't have his best stuff yesterday, but I still did a pretty good job of bearing down and getting us through 4 innings. Yeah, the runs are maybe not what we wanted out of him in that start, but he found a way to continue to battle, and it wasn't we got to go to the pen in the second, or we got to go to the pen end of the first or something like that. He's able to kind of settle down a little bit and get better and better as the outing went on, and got us. He competed quite well for what the result said.
Right. Speaking of the bullpen, Colby Solomon goes and stands for 3.5 hours in a national anthem standoff between the entire Elks bullpen on the side. Started out the entire Elks bullpen, went down to just 3 by the end of the game. Were you following that at all throughout the game?
Yeah, definitely. That was a good side game that was happening there. Guys were keeping their eyes on what was happening in the pens.
I was saying, if you pull Colby and have to get him in the game, that was the only way he was going to leave that ball game. Did that ever cross your mind? Like, I might have to go to Colby here at some point.
There were some jokes made about that with the nature of what was happening, we had to cross Colby off the list from being available last night. Now,
There you go.
we didn't actually do it, but it worked out that way. He was able to keep it rolling for all 9 innings.
I'm interested to see what happens today in the national anthem.
Yeah, we'll see. I think.
Have you ever done a national anthem standoff?
I have. It's actually, it was big kind of at the end of my playing career. That's when it kind of got popularized, and nowadays it's more managing it because it's technically grounds for ejection.
Really?
If you're in the field of play. So as an NCAA rule, they had to implement that of you can actually get thrown out for it. So those guys were out of play down the lines in the bullpen, so it was all right. We let it slide, but it is something you kind of have to keep your eye on. A little less monitored in summer ball, but school ball, it's not really a thing you see anymore.
I don't think I could stand at all for 3.5 hours straight. So shout out to Colby. Game 2 today, chance to even up the series and really keep the series alive if you're trying to win this thing. Go back to the 4th and play the Pippins. What do you got to do to shake it up and take a win here?
I think just come out with a great focus, a good energy, kind of get back to what we do. Yesterday was kind of a weird day with the weather and some of the pregame stuff not hitting on the field after a long travel day, and so hopefully today we can kind of get back into our rhythm a little bit. Not having that routine and rhythm isn't necessarily an excuse to not be focused, but I'm hoping with us being able to kind of have a little more normal day, our focus and kind of our intent and energy is better from the beginning.
Sun is shining, blue skies. There's no weather we have to worry about, although did you see the sunset yesterday? I know you were focused on the game. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
You looked around, it was pink skies everywhere. I don't know if we'll get that tonight. This brings us to our question of the day with manager Colby Watilo. Colby, final meal. You're on your deathbed. Go.
I will say steak and Caesar salad.
A drink?
Maybe like Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer. What type of steak?
My dad does I've grown up with my dad doing flank steak on the smoker, on the barbecue, and so that's kind of like a sentimental play. So yeah, I'll stick with that.
Any desserts, or are you just going off on the steak?
Like a chocolate chip skillet cookie with some ice cream.
I could take one of those right now.
Yeah, sounds pretty good, huh?
Yeah. You know what else sounds good?
Sweets dub.
Sweets win. Once again, manager of the Walla Walla Sweets, Colby Watilo, on another edition of Countdown with Colby. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Go Sweets.